All
You know
right.
what
Well,
time
the
it is?
moment that we've all been waiting for,
That's right. It's time.
the best
The best
game
game
of
the
2023.
2023. So, my understanding, the criteria here is this game had to have been published in 2023, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
Finally, we're on the same page.
Which is why Heat's not on my
Well,
list.
yes, because it's not the spiel. This is just best game of the year.
Okay.
Yes.
The spiel, it could be anything. So
Let me give you the spiel about this. Ready?
please do.
My best game of 2023. Now, I totally expect to get grief for this because I think some of you guys are going to say that's not a new game. But I'm telling you, it is very much so a new game. And that game is the Castles of Burgundy Special Edition. Not only do you have beautiful castle minis, acrylic hexes, a neoprene mat, and some gorgeous art, you also have the foundation, the architecture of a well-worn classic that stands the test of time. It was developed by one of the finest German board game designers of all time, Stefan Feld. And this is where it gets new. You have new additions. You have something called the Vineyard, or the Wynyard, as my friend pronounces it. And it's a whole nother area of the map where you can place tiles and bid on things and create more cascading chain effects. And then you've got another delivery track where you can take your shipments and deliver them. And the thing is just beautiful. This almost was my most played game of the year. I think I got it to the table around 8 or 9 times. And it's hands down the best Kickstarter I've ever backed. It is the finest of the fine. It is the Castles of Burgundy Special Edition.
Okay, I didn't know expansions were going to be allowed because that's basbasically what that is. That's
Nope, it's a whole new game.
And your friend must be Nightcrawler from the X-Men, if that's how he pronounces Wynyard. So, am I right, Daniel?
That's right. Except I think it's the other way around. I was going to make that joke. I don't think Germans say V's to sound like W's. Yes. I think it's just the other way around.
It's a Wynyard.
Well, you know, Andy, I'm glad you said that because now I'm going to get less grief from mine.
Oh, great.
Okay, well, yeah, I got to preface this with something. I really thought Heat was a 2023 game. So I was ready to talk about Heat. I love the game. It was definitely the best game I played of the year. It was my top game. But despite what everyone here says, I do not constantly play new games. I might buy new games, and I might have 10 of them on my shelf from 2023, but I have only played 5 games that came out in 2023, and most of them I gave a 6. And there is one exception, though, and this is on the list because while it is a while it's a derivative of what's already out, it is still a brand new game with new mechanics and new scope of play, and that is Unmatched Tales to Amaze. This is a cooperative version of Unmatched, okay, guys? So this is completely different than Unmatched. You are not competing at all. They have actually introduced a mechanic in there where you're actually fighting these monsters, whether it's Mothman or an alien invasion, and it's cohorts of American cryptids like the swamp monster, the swamp frog, and like bees from outer space, and some other ones that I'm I can't remember off the top of my head. The blob. Okay, so you're actually fighting these as a team. You're using the same decks that you can use in any Unmatched, but Tales of Amaze come with 4 new characters, and the villains are all self-programmed. They each have their own little deck. It has 40 points to do damage with, and the game works really well. You can also play it solo, which, while I'm not a solo gamer, there are a few games that resonate with me so that I do play those games solo, like Marvel United. But this one could really find its place on my shelf or on my table, my solo table often. It changes enough rules. It lets me play a game that I love and adore, and it lets me play it on my own terms, which, I mean, that's the best kind of game out there. A game that, what did you say, John? The best playability, the best what?
The best ability is playability. Yes.
There you go. And that's what Tales to Amaze is. Unmatched Tales to Amaze.
Point of order. You said earlier in the show, you just said you're not really a solo gamer, but I heard you say I play with myself a lot earlier in the show.
Yes. Okay. Well,
that was before we were recording.
No, that really happened. It just happened just a few minutes ago, John. You missed it. I'm not playing games with himself.
No, it's worth explaining because I've tried some like heavy Euros that I love. Like those are my favorite type of games, and I've tried to play those by myself, and I hate I hate it. I hate it so much. So the games that have resonated with me have been these card games: Marvel United, Marvel Champions, Marvel Legendary, and now Marvel Unmatched. I mean, Unmatched Tales to Amaze. There are only a few games that I actually enjoy playing on my own. So, like, maybe if I enjoyed the heavy Euro experience by myself more, I would be a solo gamer. But as it stands, there's just a couple that I truly enjoy. But I do
Um,
play it solo more than I think any of you guys do. So maybe in that regard, I am a solo gamer. But I'm not chasing the next solo game. Like, that's not for me. So
I
One
think
is more
this.
than
Oh, go
zero.
ahead. Yes.
there you
But
go.
not only does this qualify, this very much qualifies as a new game this year. What are you talking about? This is like completely different than anything Unmatched has ever done. And
Yeah.
it's also, I would have considered if it wasn't just a single character expansion, which is what the expansions are for Unmatched, I would consider any of the other ones that came out that have multiple players in them and boards. That's a whole new game to me. And to me, it's the same mechanic, but it's all new cards. It's a whole new game. And I
Nah,
would, well, otherwise
a
you'd have to say
standalone
this one isn't
expansion
either
is
because you can
still an
play them all
expansion.
together. But I
Yeah.
would say because those ones are literally considered expansions. They don't come with rules or anything. They're just
Yeah.
here's a guy. So I would consider the other ones too. So that's fine. That's actually a good answer. And I wish I would have backed it because I never thought about using it to play my other characters solo just to play them and see what they're like, or else I would have backed that stupid thing. And now I'm not gonna get it because it won't be deluxe, and I'm gonna want the deluxe one that was in the Kickstarter. So I'm host.
No. The deluxe are just like plastic moth and plastic aliens. That's it. Everything else is exactly the same. So get it.
John, what was
All right.
your game of the year?
What are we doing? Game of the year is that what we're doing? Yes, I had a very much similar experience to Daniel. I'm like, look at all these games I'm listing off of my played list. I'm gonna have to really plow through these. One of them was that one I mentioned earlier, Crossing Oceans, which I forgot it was a reprint from 05 or whatever. And so I'm like, I'm gonna have a hard time narrowing this down. Then I'm going through. Let me just make sure that these all came out in 2023. Nope. A lot of them got off the list right away. And so I've got my runner up and my winder for those of you in
Winder.
South Carolina. And my runner up is going to be Jerusalem because that's a really good game. I've gotten that played a few times, and for a heavy-ish Euro, it's very approachable. People like it. It's even kind of a long game, and it's just a fun game to play. It's very thematic for what it is too. So Jerusalem is my runner up.
I don't know if I'd call it a heavy Euro, but
I said heavy-ish.
yeah, I don't know if I'd call it heavy issue.
Okay, just wait till your turn. And so my winner is actually World Wonders up here. I don't know if you can see it. It might be a little glary, but World Wonders, because it's something that looks like and it is approachable, but it almost looks like a family weight game when you look at it. But then when you get into it, it's not a family weight game. I mean, you can play it, but there's a lot of crunchy decisions to make, and there's a lot of different paths that you can go to victory, which is always fun. The playing is easy, but the winning is a little difficult. So love World Wonders. It's getting played a bunch. It was almost my most played game. And even though I just got it this year, and parts of the way through the year, only had it half the year, but everybody that I think, unless some of these people are lying to me, like Chris has said, everybody I think that's played it has enjoyed it because we played it multiple times, a lot of times. So World Wonders, game of the year 2023 for me.
I got to get to that one, man. I got to get that one played.
It's a good one.
Yeah, so I didn't lie. I did enjoy it, but I do believe I've had a kind of come to Jesus moment here while you were speaking on that. I think the reason Tetris is good is because it speeds up. Because all these polyomino games, I fill my board.
No, this one you're not just filling your board though.
It was fine. Again, and I'm not hating on the game. And I didn't. Yeah. I mean, again, if it's thumbs up, thumbs down, definitely thumbs up. I enjoyed World Wonders. I'm just saying, like, yes, they do get a little more difficult because your places do fill in and stuff like that. But I still don't. I've never played one that is as intense as Tetris can get, obviously, because I mean, that gets insane right towards the end. But I'm just saying, like, part of what makes that gameplay loop interesting is that it's just boom, 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 boom. Like, you really, I don't know, just maybe I just needed to amp it up for myself or something like that. But
if you want stressful, that's what Tiny Towns is. If you ask me, that's the most stressful one of those games. Especially at like 6 players, you're like, please nobody say glass. I got 5 more people that can't say glass, or I'm never placing anything else on my board.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Maybe I wonder.
And they call 4 glass in a row.
Yes, you're like,
what's everyone doing with this glass?
Yeah, I wonder how we played when we played, because I know that, like, for example, Board Game Jesus Vassal, when he talks about the game, he says that if you play with more than like 4 than just like every 2 or 3 do a wild and you pick or something like that. I'd assume we didn't do that, but I started to wonder because I don't remember the game being very intense, but regardless.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you got?
All right.
Yeah. So
what was your best game?
Huh?
What's your best game of the year,
Oh,
Chris?
okay. Okay, we'll make sure I understand. All right. So mine is Union Stockyards. This game just screams everything about me. And first of all, I want to make a point of order. I want everyone, for those here in the studio and watching, millions watching at home, I want you to go to BGG right now. I want you to look up Union Stockyards, and I want you to look at that the 6 or 7 lines there of the description of this game. This is how every description on BGG should be. I'm going to read it for you, those that are in the car. I don't want you to get in a wreck, so I'm going to read it for you. This is 6 lines of the description. Union Stockyards.
I'm not there yet.
It doesn't matter for you. You can read it yourself. Union Stockyards is a midweight economic Euro game with unique features. Bullet point 1, a supply/demand driven market that is central to gameplay, not a sidebar. Cool. Low randomness, market changes due to player decisions. Worker placement game where your workers may go on strike. And then the final one, extensively researched historical theme about one of the great industrial wonders of the U.S. Gilded Age. That actually tells you what this game is about. I hate 99% of the time I go to BGG and I look at the description of the game and I have to read pages to understand what I'm doing in the game. Tell me at the top like at Union Stockyards. Don't make paragraphs about junk. It makes me insane. Anyways, so everything that said, it really encompasses what goes on. Like, it really has the cards that you play are very historical. There's like a little readout thing about each one of them. It's interesting. It's not overly encumbersome, but it's nice to know the kind of the historicalness. For example, one thing I learned is the Swift shipping company that you still see today, the Swift trucks you see on the road, they started from a meat packing company. They don't do that anymore. They just do trucking, but that's where it started from. I thought that was super interesting. But that's also just theme and historicalness. The actual moment-to-moment gameplay here is fantastic because, again, how the moves you make really does move the market. You'll, on your turn, be like, I'm going to go ahead and I want to do something else, but I'm going to do this first because I still think I'll get to do the thing I want to do later. And if I do it right now, it's really going to mess up Daniel because he's not going to get the payout that he needs because I moved the market on my turn. And so that's really great. And then there's this, it looks very gimmicky. The first time you open the game, it looks very gimmicky. There's this kind of board that you place these different blocks on the map. And they represent the different buildings that you're making, the different plants, the different factories. And there's this whole kind of like, kind of Tetris thing kind of going on that you're building these different plants and you get points based on how they're placed and you can just buy land. So like if someone else builds in that space, they have to pay you the money instead of the bank. The game's fantastic. I really enjoyed it. This one was one of those that I've played multiple times. I think I played this one like 3. It was very close to my most played because of Daniel, and he sucks. But
29 plays
of a game that you played 5 times in an evening. Whatever. Anyways, so but yeah, Union Stockyards, I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to play more of it. It's fantastic. If you guys have a chance, you should check it out.
That one does look good.
Another one I gotta check out, man.
Yeah. So I always want to say, guys, that we always call ourselves board game enthusiasts. We're not board game reviewers. We're not professionals. And this episode may show that a little bit, and that we haven't played a lot of 2023 games. But you know what? It's okay. Enjoy the games that are out there. There are thousands of games out there, and don't always feel like you have to rush to grab the newest hotness. Wait a couple of years, let it simmer. Let's see what goes to the top. Hey, yeah, I just told you I played 5 from this year, man. 5. So don't give me those looks, Chris. So
I'm impressed, Daniel. You are clearly going to your 12-step meetings because that's progress.
Exactly.
Progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection.
What he totally says.
Well, my whole point of saying that, though, is that you guys out there probably played more 2023 games. So let us know what your 2023 game is, and let us know which one you think we would like. Hopefully you guys have been watching for a while now. You kind of know our tastes. Give us your opinion. Give us which game should we go out and buy, or which one should I go, grab on my shelf because I probably already purchased it because I'm a sucker apparently. And the 12 steps aren't working very well.
Baby steps. thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it and would like to watch the full episode, check out the description below. Around the Board is a video board game podcast about board game.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you'd like to watch the full episode, check out the description below. Around the Board is a board game video podcast where we talk about board games and other board game related topics. We assign points to one another based on our banter, and then at the end of the show, whoever has the most points is given a small amount of time to talk about whatever they like. So if you enjoyed it, please join us in the future around the board.